Healthcare in America is changing. Increasing competition and pressure to control costs are forcing doctors and hospitals to look for innovative ways to improve efficiency and quality simultaneously. It is a big challenge. And one of the ways they are succeeding is by helping their patients, their clients, to become better informed, more intelligent consumers of healthcare resources. Next year, doctors will perform over 70 million operations. That is more than 2 surgeries a second. And in all but a few emergency cases, the patient must first give formal written consent to the procedure. In fact, mere consent is not enough. The patient must give informed consent. That means that doctors and other medical professionals have an obligation to educate their patients before asking them to sign any consent statement or waiver. Of course, no one argues that this is not an important and necessary step. But this requirement, if handled wrong, can create as many problems as it solves. First, it makes the caregiver responsible for how well the patient understands the procedures and risks involved in surgery. It is not enough anymore for doctors to be gifted surgeons. They have got to be great teachers too. And there is another problem. Medicine is a dynamic science, and patients depend on the ongoing educational and professional growth of their doctors. Surgeons already feel squeezed between increasing caseloads and the need to continually improve technically. The informed consent requirement can be very time-consuming and can take a big bite out of the time a surgeon might otherwise spend perfecting his or her craft. And as surgical practices become more and more complex, the time required to educate the patient continues to increase. Now imagine that you are the administrator of an organization, confronted with paying for the increasing time that your doctors are spending obtaining consent. Then add to that the fact that from one physician to another, you really have no way of knowing how well or consistently patients are learning what they must. As that administrator, what you would want is a way to standardize the information your patients are receiving, to free your staff for other duties, and to support the doctor-patient relationship by making it easier for the patient to ask the doctor informed questions. All of these goals can be accomplished simply by giving patients a guided, interactive learning tool with which they can explore at their own pace and according to their own needs. Preop.com is in a unique position to deliver just that kind of solution. We have introduced a comprehensive educational package designed to both streamline and enrich for patients and doctors the process of obtaining informed consent. Here is how it works. Initially, we have identified the 25 most commonly performed surgical procedures, everything from lens extractions to breast biopsies. For each operation, we're producing a videotape which will contain basic information about the medical condition, the surgical procedure, and what the patient should expect while they're at the hospital. These tapes are friendly, informative, and above all, accessible to the audience they're designed for. In each tape, a professional on-camera host will guide the viewer step by step through a complete orientation into the nature of their medical problem and the surgery which will correct it. In the tape, they will meet the supporting team, including the surgeon, the anesthesiologist, and the attending nurses. With their help, the patient will become familiar not only with the operation itself, but with the admission procedure, recovery and release, and aftercare options. The overall production quality of the tapes demonstrates the level of professional quality invested in all phases of production from scripting onward. Great care is taken to translate difficult medical jargon into plain English and clear and stunning visuals. Motion picture quality images will build patient confidence, while state-of-the-art graphics and animation will help the patient to visualize some of the more difficult or abstract concepts. We are developing the contents of the library in conjunction with an advisory board made up of practicing surgeons, as well as legal counsel distinguished by their experience with malpractice and liability cases. We are not only building consistency from tape to tape, but we are also helping doctors to improve consistency from patient to patient. But that is only half the story. Preparing for surgery can be a scary proposition. In order to help strengthen the bond between caregiver and patient, we have partnered with video production companies across the country so that we can offer our customers the chance to personalize the tapes in their library. When the patient sits down to watch a tape that explains their situation, we want them to have the reassurance and confidence which must naturally accompany the experience of seeing their own physician on screen. Therefore, any subscribing physician can arrange to be the on-camera guide that appears at key points throughout the tape that his or her patient views. To provide viewers with a chance to take charge of their own learning experience, each tape will also provide a password and instructions for accessing our internet website, preop.com. Here, the full text of the video will be available on screen, along with answers to frequently asked questions. The depth of this resource will make it possible for patients to find out exactly what they want to know, and will help them to focus on those questions that only their doctors can answer for them. The end result will be to enrich the time they spend with their doctors and to increase their own confidence about the upcoming procedure. The benefits of a program like this add up quickly. Besides saving caregivers money, it improves consistency and provides an excellent defense against irresponsibly brought malpractice suits. We know that the success of our product line depends on forging broad and deep relationships with the community we seek to serve. So we are always looking for new advisors to add to our board, people who can add to the quality of the service we have already begun to provide to surgical patients across the country. This is a market that shows incredible potential. Remember, over 70 million operations a year, and as the baby boom generation ages, that number can only increase. By further partnering with the healthcare and professional communities, we stand ready to help with the responsibility of informing patients, and thereby serving to support the physicians on whom we all depend.